and welcome back to Sarah's Joyful Journey. I'm Sarah Joy and it's Tea Tuesday, so it's time to spill the tea. Let's go make some tea first. All right, I just started my water to heat and we're going to make our tea. So today I am going to be using my tea for one. This is Rose Confetti by Royal Albert. I love this little one. And we're also going to be having one of my favorite black teas, which is Harney Sons Paris. This is the one that is fruity as well. I can't read the lettering right now. Yep. Oh, it's got the caramel and citrus notes in it. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. So we're going to get our tea made and then we'll go spill the tea. Last week I really liked this black background and I was pretty comfortable, so I figured we'd go ahead and do that again. Plus it's a good way for you guys to see the bonsai and how they are doing. They are doing pretty good and I've learned a lot about them. But first, let's go ahead and try some of our tea. This again is the Paris, and I have added some sucralose to sweeten it and a scoop of keto brains. It is seriously one of my favorite teas. I absolutely love that. Can't recommend that one enough. It's sweet and fruity, but also it's got the caramel notes to it, and I love caramel. Caramel is like my thing, so that's pretty good. All right, so I figured we could go ahead and we'll talk a little bit about the bonsai behind me because I have learned so much in the few months that I have had them. I had 12. I got 4 more this week. Let me grab one. So I got, most of the time I have been lately buying my trees as itty bitty tiny baby trees because it's super, super cheap. And I watered this one, so now it's dripping water all over me. But anyway, this is a Ficus benjamina, which I have another one of, and I now have 4 babies. One is going to be a gift, and they're going to not be planted in bonsai soil because one thing that I learned is that when you plant babies in bonsai soil, they don't retain the moisture. They don't they can't absorb the nutrients as much, because here, I'll grab this one. This is William. This is a willow leaf ficus. But as you can see, bonsai soil is very rocky. It's good for drainage, but it doesn't hold water the same way. It doesn't hold nutrients the same way. So when you're trying to grow a very young tree, it kind of stunts the growth. I've learned that the hard way. And I have had to take some of my baby trees that were in bonsai soil and take them out and put them in little pots. So I love my plant stand behind me. It does keep them going really, really well with the lights. They're on timers, so I don't have to do anything, and they just come on and they stay on for 12 hours and then they turn off. The growth is going really, really well. The 3 bonsai that I initially bought, I have 1 left. Yeah. But most of mine, actually, I've had, because I started with a Fukian tea and then Gross killed those ones. And then I got a dwarf jade and that one died. I think I overwatered it. And then I had a Chinese elm and I have another Chinese elm and they are not doing well in my house. I am struggling with those. I lost one. It lost all of its leaves. The second one also lost all of its leaves. And it was a baby one. It was the first tree I wired. So I replanted it this morning into some soil. But as you can see, there's like no leaves on it whatsoever. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully it will go well. But I'm learning, like I said, a lot. A little bit with wiring. I will grab this one up here. if I can. I'm at a bad angle. Yeah, I can't grab that one. Sorry. But this one right here is Koa. This is a Cheffarella. It's the one that I bought at Lowe's, and I have wired it and given it a prune, and I'm really happy with how it's looking and how it's growing. And then the other one that I initially started with was this one. This is Raja. This is the one that Ghost ate, that I thought for sure was going to die. This is a tiger bark ficus. I do want to get another one of these at some point. The ficuses are growing so well for me. So I have 2 willow leaves, and I now have 5 ficus benjamina, but I'll have 4. Probably less because I'll find somebody else to give one of the babies to. And then I have this one, and then I have the ginseng ficus right here, and then down here, you can't really see it, but it's way down here at the bottom. That is a green island ficus. But this, I am really happy with. It had a lot more growth last week, but I gave it its first prune because it was time for it. And so it has come back, and it is doing very, very well. And I'm very, very happy with it. So that is just a quick little bonsai update. But yeah, I'm happy with them, learning a lot. I'm no longer as scared as I was. Like when I first started, I was just terrified that I was going to kill them. Because I have violets, I can't grow violets. They die. They just absolutely die. They commit suicide when I have them. But my trees are doing really, really well. Before I had the trees, I used to do very good with ivy. I did okay when I had plants outside, but this is new for having trees inside. And like I said, the ones that I've got, most of them, except for the little Chinese elm, are thriving and doing so well. And I'm really happy, but I'm not afraid of them anymore. If I have something that I want to do and an experiment I want to try with them, I do it. The worst that's going to happen is I'm going to have to replace the plant. But more likely than not, the care that I'm giving him is good, and I'll just have to be patient and let it grow. And that was the case with William that I just showed you right here. He came and he was tall and spindly, and I gave him a chop, and now he's got some leaves and he's much smaller and cuter, and love it. I have some others that I have done drastic chops to as well, and yeah, it's going, so I'm enjoying that. It is getting ready to storm outside, and I am on the floor in the bedroom, so you may see the dogs come piping over. I have Piper right here, and Ghost is currently on the bed. But Piper does not like storms, so you may hear her whine and get all anxious. I can't change that. But this morning we went for a nice long walk with Ghost. It wasn't as long as we really should have gone. We only went about 4.5 miles, which is still good. But the humidity, the temperature was fine. It was only like 80 degrees outside when we went, but the humidity was so much, we were all, by the end of it, like just dead. At one point we stopped under a tree because we felt a cool breeze, and it was in the shade, and we all just stood there for like 5 minutes. Even Ghost like sat down and then laid down because he was like, oh, yes, this feels good. So he's been very quiet all afternoon, and I should go get on the treadmill and do some more steps, but I think this week might just end up being a light week because my hand has just been super achy. I am looking forward to surgery next week. I've got 9 days until surgery. Yeah, but I've been having to wear this more and more during the day at home, not just at night, because that extra support really just does help. But my hand just swells so much. Like I tried cooking breakfast this morning, and Matt had to help me because I couldn't even flip sausage over. We're talking little tiny sausages where just the movement of flipping them over was too much. So I'm very much looking forward to hopefully getting back to status quo, or at least it not getting worse, but all the pain should leave. Everybody that I've talked to that's had carpal tunnel syndrome or carpal tunnel surgery has said they didn't always regain all the feelings, so they still had to deal with numbness and tingling. because of nerve damage, but the pain was gone. And I was like, okay, if I have lasting nerve damage, which I shouldn't because I currently don't have a lot of nerve damage, but if I still come out of it having nerve damage, that's one thing. The numbness it's annoying, but it's not the same as having pain. So I'm just looking forward to eventually being out of pain soon. Health update. Walking challenge is going very, very well. I have so far completed 200,000 steps, a little over 200,000 steps, and I'm hoping to get another 100,000 steps this week. I'm already down a day because yesterday the alarm went off at 5 o'clock and I didn't want to get out of bed. I was so tired. I was just like, I just don't want to do it. So I didn't. And I walked 177 steps yesterday. So that should tell you how tired I was, because that's not the type of person that I am. But I very much enjoyed having a day in bed to rest. But now I've got to make up those steps. And I don't know if I'm going to get it, but we'll see. I might try to go up and get on the treadmill. But like I said, I'm just kind of tired and just needing a rest. So if I have a light week, it's fine. We can make up for it later. And something that's happened the past couple weeks that I'm going to do every week, I'm going to do what I call a push day, where it's going to be, I'm going to push aggressively to try to get between 9 and 10 miles on that day. The first time I did it, I did 13.1, which is a half marathon. I don't know that I'm going to do that again in one day. That was a lot. But if I can do it and I'm feeling good enough to do it, I absolutely will. On Sunday, I did my last push day and I did over 9 miles before 10:30, which was awesome because Ghost and I went for a walk, and then I ended up getting an approved day off, and then I decided to go for a nice hike by myself, and I did the loop there that I wanted to do today. It was just more humid today. So we'll see. I'm going to do that again on Friday and hope that that works well. But according to my scale, last week I was 224.4, and I told you I had gained 2 ounces. I didn't write down my exact weight in ounces, but I'm down to 222. We'll see how it goes. I ate breakfast this morning, which has been very helpful because I've been very full and I haven't had to eat any keto chow yet. This keto chow challenge that I'm doing has been super, super tough for me. Just super tough. It's very convenient and I'm very happy that I'm working down my keto chow stash, but I'm 2 weeks in now and I'm super bored. Now that doesn't mean that I don't like to take advantage of my keto chow. I very much do. I love my creamies, but eating them twice a day or having shakes twice a day, it is starting to get monotonous and a little bit boring for me. I am a person who I can eat the same things over and over and over again if it's something that I really, really, really enjoy. Like I go on a kick where I'll have pancakes every day for like 2 weeks. Or I'll eat, tacos every day. It's just kind of how I do it. So I'm at the point where I'm just like, I need some different change. I need a different variety. So I am trying to push through and finish this challenge as best that I can. It did help today to have my meal up front, because now I feel like if I don't get to 2 keto chows, I'm okay. Instead of me trying to slog through 2 keto chows and then have my meal at the end of the day, when I'm at that point, I'm just absolutely starving, because half the time I'm not wanting to eat more than 1 creamy anyway. So we'll see. It's still going well. It's just different. And I learn a lot about myself. I've learned that I really just enjoy eating my food. And there's nothing wrong with that. That is perfectly acceptable and okay. I have also started applying for jobs. I think it's probably still a little too early since I don't know my end timeline with Disney, but I'm just putting feelers out there. I'm just getting my information out there and we'll see what happens. I've applied for like 9, I think at this point. I'm trying to do 2 or 3 every day. It is just kind of disappointing and disheartening because I'm just not finding what I really want. Or I did find one job that I really, really wanted, but I didn't qualify for. And to qualify for it, I'd have to go back to school. And I'm not in the position where I want to go back to school right now. I just can't, I'm not in the mental place to take it on again, especially since I know at this point how hard grad school is, because I've been there and done that. Didn't finish, obviously, because of some reasons, but we're still in a position where I still need to work, and I still probably need to work for full time. And it's looking like the best I'm going to find as far as job wages go is going to be about anywhere between $12 and $16 an hour. I'm currently making 18 at Disney, so I will be taking a significant pay cut, which is sad, but we'll see. But I've applied for a couple that I'm interested in. One is going to be a library assistant within the county that we live in. That would be fun. I probably don't expect to get that. I know county jobs are hard to get, and there's a lot of competition. I think there's a lot of competition for a lot of jobs. Right now, they're getting ready to hire for the McDonald's right at half mile from my house. I haven't decided if I want to do that. I'm trying really, really hard not to work with food, because I don't want it to be a downfall. I just don't. I don't want to be around it. I don't want to be in a hot kitchen. What I would love to find would be an office job, and I have applied for several of those, but we'll see. But I've also applied for like Dick's Sporting Goods. I've applied for being a barista at Dutch Brothers, because, well, I enjoy my coffee. I worked in a coffee shop when I met my husband. But that was 26 years ago, so long time ago. But it wouldn't be bad. I don't see it as a permanent job. I am applying for one place that I know that is food, and Claremont is getting a Mission Barbecue, and I love what Mission Barbecue stands for and how they support the military and veterans and all that kind of stuff. So I'm applying on that principle that I would enjoy working at that company, and, well, it's barbecue. I could have free barbecue for lunch at work. But that is like the exception, not the norm. I'm trying to be very picky with what I'm applying for, but at the same time, like, not super picky. I feel like I'm in a position where right now I can be a little bit more choosy. As we get closer to the time where I need to separate from Disney, I'm going to be a lot less choosy, because it's going to be more important just to get a job and have a job. And then I can work that job, and then I can still be putting fillers out for other jobs. I'm trying to avoid stuff that is going to be where I have to do a whole lot of lifting and twisting and using my arm. I'm gonna have to have some of that. It's just the nature of the fact that all my experience is in retail. Yes, I have a college degree. The jobs that I can get with a bachelor's that is focused in psychology, like my bachelor's is, are not jobs that I actually want. They are very mentally draining and taxing jobs. A lot of it has to work in group homes and stuff like that. I already know myself, I'm not going to be able to handle that job. Those jobs are going to be very, very tough for me. They're going to put me in a mentally challenging position, and I don't want to do that. It's not that I don't have compassion for those people, because I obviously have a whole lot of compassion and I would love to help them, but I can't help somebody if I'm not in the right position, if I'm not in the right mindset, and it's going to be one of those things where it's going to not be the right mindset. The other thing that I have looked at that I could do with my degree is I could go and it's not really my degree, because you don't need a degree at all to do it, but I could become a registered behavioral therapist. I keep waffling on that one. That one would get me close to what I'm doing, but most of the jobs around here are contract work. So you're not actually an employee, so you have to do all your taxes and all that kind of stuff on your own, and I just don't want to mess with that right now. I'd rather just go to work, show up, do my job, and come home. You take care of all the taxes. Yeah, I have to file at the end of the year, but I don't want to have to like save a certain amount of my paycheck and file every 3 months. I just don't want that heartache right now. So it's too much, but it is what it is. So like I said, I'm just looking. We'll see what turns out and how it goes. I don't know my exact timeline. Yeah, right now I do have my leave of absence for my surgery. It is supposed to be paid, but my gut tells me it's not going to be paid, and that I'm going to have to say something. And last week I worked one day because the pain was so bad. I ended up even having to leave early that day. I worked, I think, 5 or 6 hours. I think I got 6 hours of my 7-hour shift. I was pretty close to completing the whole shift. Well, by the time they took all the taxes, my insurance and my union dues and everything out, I ended up with a $16 paycheck. Which is hard because we've increased our expenses getting the car, and my daughter was out, so she didn't get a paycheck, so now she can't pay her rent this week, and it's extra stress. And I'm not complaining. We'll manage, everything will work out. It's just a matter of budgeting down, which is the other reason why I've been doing the Keto Chat Challenge, because I haven't had to go grocery shopping for much since I started this challenge because I have all the food there. So I've just had to get things like coffee and cream and butter. I definitely have to get some butter this week, and I definitely have to get some eggs because Matt's been eating a lot of eggs and we're almost out of eggs. It's not a bad thing. I'm using what I have, and that saves me money on my grocery budget, which means that I can put that towards other things that are more important, like covering the fact that my daughter is not paying her rent now 2 weeks in a row, and she got a new phone, and that's increased the phone bill, and she's gonna have to start paying that. She's gonna have to pay us back, but it might be a while, so we'll see how it goes. So we're just keeping things really, really as tight as possible. And it's okay because we all go through seasons like that. The other thing that I went ahead and I did splurge on, because I have been doing so much reading lately, because that's about the only thing that I can do that doesn't really hurt my hands. I enjoy watching TV, but I'm not a TV person, if that makes sense. I have things that I like, I have movies that I like, I have the YouTube videos that I like to watch, but I'm not a sit down and just watch TV person. I like to keep my hands busy. But the exception to that is when I read, because I will hold a book, or in this case, a Kindle, and I absolutely love it. So I splurged on a brand new Kindle Paperwhite. I had a Paperwhite before. I still have it. It still works. It's fantastic. It's 11 years old, which is a testament to how well they work. One thing that I noticed, the biggest change between this one and my other one, is they're the same size, but the reading screen is bigger. The battery life is also the thing that gets me, because I could charge the other one, and if I read for an entire day, the battery's about dead on my other one. I charged this up and I was able to read for like 3 days, which is fantastic. And I did not a second full charge. I did charge it a little bit. I'm going to charge it again tonight. Yeah, so that has been good. So right now, last month I read 14 books. I am on books 8 and 9. I'm doing in 2 different books, which is good, because the fantasy book that I'm doing, I love fantasy and romantasy, but they tend to be they can be a little heavy. They can be a little dark. And I don't mind that per se, because there's a lot of war. There's a lot of like emotional stuff in them. But sometimes I like to read a lighter book. So I picked a lighter book. It's not really a lighter book. It's a good book. It's not a fantasy book. But I'm 50 pages in and I've cried 5 times. So it is called The Last Letter by Rebecca Yarros, who also does Fourth Wing, which I really, really enjoyed. And I'm really, really enjoying this book as well. It's very, very good. I have a feeling it's going to be a pretty quick read for me. I'm going to barrel through it pretty quickly. It's the one that I'm wanting to read most, which I also started Throne of Glass, which is the second in the Throne of Glass series. And I want to get through that one, but there's a lot of world building in it, and it's fantastic. And it took a while to get in and like the characters, and it's taking a little while to like get into the meat of the story. And it's just a little bit of a slower read. It's not one of those where it draws you in from the first page and you're in, but it is getting good. I struggled with Assassin's Blade because it's a novella. It's a collection of short stories. And I am a person who has always liked long stories, big books, series of the same characters. Like, I will read series, but if they're one set of characters in one book and then in the next book they're a different set of characters, I'm usually turned off from that because I'm like, I know. I would rather just it be a standalone instead of a series of standalone books. My very first series that I ever read and I absolutely love is the Outlander series by Diana Gabaldon. I've been reading it since I was 16 years old. It's still not done. I have read most of the books multiple times. I think the first book I've read like 15 times now. I go through it every year or 2 years or something like that, and I read the whole series, and I haven't done that yet this year, which is fine because I've been enjoying other books. But I enjoy those long series, and I know I will enjoy Throne of Glass, but sometimes in a long series, it does take a little bit to build up. So I always give books, you know, several chapters to like start drawing me in. And I enjoyed the short stories, but it's like you got through a short story and it was over and you're just like just starting to get into it. And I was like, and then the story changed. And they followed a pattern, they followed a timeline, which was good. Woo! Holy. That was close lightning. I don't know if y'all heard that, but that just made me jump. All right. Anyway, it's hi baby girl. Yeah, I like long stories, so really good on that part. My heart is now racing from the lightning. It was literally like right out the window. All right, Piper just came barreling through and knocked everything over, so I am starting that again. But anyway, I enjoy long books. I am going to go ahead and wrap this up now because she is extremely anxious and we don't crate her because she doesn't like crates. And I don't want her to come barreling through again, and it's really starting to rain outside. But that's pretty much everything that has been going on this week. One other thing that I'm going to go ahead and mention right here. I put up a poll in the Facebook group on what type of content you like. I am looking to change things up. 5 videos a week is a lot for me. It's something I wanted to try to do because I like putting out that kind of content, but it's still a lot, and I would like to back down to 3 videos a week. I think that would be more enjoyable for me as well. Especially since I'm still doing my 5 million step challenge, which means I'm doing shorts every single day. For the most part, I did not do one yesterday, but it's okay. So in light of that, I would like to lower my video content. I am also considering taking Tea Tuesday live in the evenings. So if you would like to see it live, let me know down below. Also, let me know what your favorite type of videos are. Currently, I'm thinking of doing my meal prep, Tea Tuesday, and then maybe like a what I'm eating in the day grocery haul combo. I still want to do recipe videos, but I don't want to do them weekly. I'd rather have them be like bonus content when I have time, because right now with my hand, I really can't cook the way that I want to cook. I'm not meal prepping the way that I want to meal prep right now either. So I'm going to continue this series and continue to think about what I actually want to do. But please let me know down below what your favorite types of videos are, that not just my videos, like what other type of videos do you really like watching and you would want to see on this channel, and I will consider all those things and it'll help me decide. But for now, we're just going to keep going with the Keto Chow series and go from there. And my droid is apparently on, which I did not know he was on. Okay, it's a little crazy in this house. All right, we're going to go ahead and we're going to wrap this crazy edition of Tea Tuesday up, and I will be back with you guys for another Tea Tuesday next week. Have a wonderful and joyful day. Bye for now.